everyone, it's Nell with Little Yellow House Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing today? It's incredibly gray and rainy outside, and so I'm doing my best with the lighting, but I just ask that you bear with me if things go crazy with lighting. We'll do the best we can, but how is everyone doing today? I hope you're all well. I hope you're all safe and healthy, and spring is coming, guys. It's almost here. We can make it. Let's see, last 2 weeks, not super eventful if I'm being honest. Just more of the same, really. We are still plugging away at school here at home, and husband's still doing well at work, and we're all healthy. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's all you can hope for, right? I do have a lot to show you today. I've pulled out a few previous finishes because I'm starting to decorate my house for springtime, and I'm just feeling all the spring feelings, and so I thought I'd show you some of the things I've done in the past. But I do have some fully finished objects. Finally, I felt like doing some finishing, and then I've got some whips and some haul, and so we're gonna have fun. This shouldn't be too long of a video. I don't have like a ton to show you, but I have some fun stuff to show you. So let's start with previous finishes. Let's start with this one on the floor. This is a finish I completed 2 years ago, and I actually entered this in the state fair, and it did ribbon. I think it got a 3rd place ribbon. It wasn't a 1st place ribbon, but it did get a ribbon, which was nice. This is one of my Prairie Schooler month patterns. This is the April from the monthly series, and I finished this on an antique washboard that I found at an antique mall. And this is April. This is Prairie Schooler's April chart. You can see there. April brings the primrose sweet, scatters daisies at our feet. And I finished it just like a flat finish. I used like a burlap or a jute cord around the edge just to give it more of a rustic look, so it kind of looked like it belonged on this. And this is, yeah, this is just an antique washboard. It's really beautiful, like antique washboard, like the colors and the aging on it. It's really nice. The great thing about this is that since this is steel back here, these little flower decorations have a magnet. I made these little flowers out of fabric and lace, and they just stick right on there. So all of them are like that. They can all be removed. And this actually has magnets on it as well on the back of the actual piece, so it can be removed. And then these are actually magnetized as well. They have a magnet on the back of these, and then I put another magnet behind the wood. And these are strong enough magnets. These are those neodymium magnets, super strong. It's strong enough that they can stick together through the wood, and so everything on here is totally removable. And when I eventually someday finish more of my Prairie Schooler patterns, I can switch them out monthly. So far I only have April finished. I have stitched a few more, but I just have not ever finished any more of them. But that is April by the Prairie Schooler. Oh, and I did myself screw in a sawtooth hanger on the back of this so that it can hang on the wall. And I just think it's really pretty. I don't know if I will always keep it finished this way. The beauty of magnets is that you can switch it up. So if I ever get tired of the little fabric and lace flowers, I can always switch them out for, I don't know, a swag up here, or, you know, I can change it around, but it fits really nicely on this washboard, and I think it's really cute. So that is April by the Prairie Schooler. That was the previous finish. This is one I stitched a long time ago and finished also for the fair, and this is by Satsuma Street. I can't remember what it's called. It's one of her Easter patterns, obviously. By Satsuma Street. I stitched this on a piece of silk weaver fabric that I had in my stash for probably 10 years at least. Sorry, there's some hot glue strands still. Even though this has been finished for years, I still find hot glue strings every once in a while. This is a piece of silk weaver fabric that I had in my stash for years, and finally just went ahead and stitched up this little Easter Bunny pattern by Satsuma Street. This is a piece from Hobby Lobby. It's just like home decor. It had a saying on it, but I just liked that it was a white background. And so then I finished the piece on this with this yellow backing. And then I created this little floral swag. These are the paper flowers that Hobby Lobby sells. So they're made of paper rather than like silk or polyester. And they just they make it look almost like they're wildflowers. It gives a really natural kind of look and kind of grassy wildflower look. Anyway, I just really liked it with this, and it's really pretty. So this also has a sawtooth hanger. It came with a sawtooth hanger on it, so you could, you know, it's home decor. You could hang it up in your house, but I really love it. I think it's so, so pretty. So that's coming out because Easter is on its way and it's springtime. Then I have some more fully finished objects. I know, shock, right? I finally finished more things. I just have not been in a finishing mood until like the last week, and then I just went crazy. So first thing I finished, I stitched this, I think I stitched this for Stitch Mania last year. It's been a while. This is by Hands On Design, Humble Honey. It was the small that she did for needlework, the Nashville Needlework Market a year or two ago. We just finished the Needlework Expo for this year. It was all virtual, which was interesting. But this is Humble Honey. I finished it exactly like Kathy did. I love how she did hers. I used almost the identical same fabric. I did not get this fabric from Hobby Lobby. I got this like dark gray gingham. It's not black. It's actually a dark gray from Simple Stitches fabric shop. But I know that she has found like dark charcoal gray gingham that perfectly matches my charcoal linen that I love to use. She's found it at Hobby Lobby before, but I did just a little bit of gingham at the bottom and then a piece of my antique lace from my grandmother underneath and made it into this little tiny pillow. It's so cute and tiny. And then I put a little bee button because I thought it would just be appropriate and so cute. So it's so sweet. It's small. It's probably 5 inches by 5 inches. It's not very big, and Humble Honey is finished, and I really love how that turned out. Little basket filler, or you set it on a dough bowl or on a tiered tray if you do tiered trays. I'd love to do tiered trays someday, but when you have 3 rambunctious little boys, having tiered trays full of little itty bitty decorative things is just a recipe for disaster. So maybe someday when they're a little bit bigger, I will get into the tiered tray thing, but that is Humble Honey by Hands On Design, and I love how that turned out. Now these I'm super excited to show you. You guys remember my Prairie Schooler eggs that I finished a bajillion years ago? No, not a bajillion years ago. I think I finished them last summer. These are 2 patterns by the Prairie Schooler. One is called Vintage Eggs and one is called Folk Eggs. And I finished both sets of patterns. I stitched them in the same colors on the same fabric so that I could finish them all together. And I finally finished them. So some of you will remember that there was a whole saga of me trying to figure out how I was going to finish all of these because I needed oval pieces of card to finish them on, and the thought of having to cut out 32 ovals because I have 16 ornaments and you need a piece of card for the stitching side and a piece of card for the backing side. The thought of cutting out 32 ovals was like filling me with dread. And then I had the brilliant idea to go on Etsy and find a seller who was selling chipboard, die-cut chipboard, which is like a brown lightweight cardboard, and to see if I could find something that was as close to the measurements as Prairie Schooler gave in their pattern. And I managed to find something that's really close. You will see that it's just ever so slightly different in dimensions, but it didn't end up mattering. So I bought a whole stack of those, and I went and watched Cindy from Cindy's Cross Stitch. I went and watched her tutorial that I linked in my last video about finishing round and oval ornaments, and that's exactly how I finished all of these, and they're done. So I'm gonna go through and show you them one by one because I think they're so, so pretty. So the first 2, I did 8 different colors of fabric for the backing. So each fabric, there will be 2 ornaments finished on the back with that. So the first 2 I finished with this like dark coral red. And these are the first 2, and you can see I just did a very simple ribbon hanger and then a little tiny black bow at the top because I wanted to keep these simple. I didn't want to go over the top with lots of froofy decorations. I wanted the emphasis to be on the stitching. And this is actually a really good piece to show you that you can see that the ovals I purchased were not the exact right dimensions for height to width for my stitching. You can see there's slightly less room on the sides as there is on the top and the bottom, but I ended up not minding it. I think it still looks great, and it gave me a little bit of room to put my bow, to glue down to hot glue my bow. So I ended up really liking that there was a little bit more space on the top and bottom. But yeah, there's those 2. And just so you know, so you put the card on your fabric, you trim it down all around, and then you do your stitching all the way around and cinch it up. Go see Cindy's video if you've never done that before. And then once you do that with your stitching and with the backing, then once you have your 2 finished ovals, you put them together and you have 2 options. You can either glue them together, wrong sides together, or you can stitch them together. I opted to stitch them together, and I ended up liking the look so much that I didn't want to add anything to the side. And I'm going to show you how pretty and how neatly it finishes them. Do you see that? I just took a long running stitch all the way around, so there is thread. I don't know if it's going to focus. There is thread running on the outside between the stitches, but it blends right in with the black Aida, because these are stitched on 18 count Aida. And I just think it gives such a nice, like, tidy, clean finish. So, and look at how thin they are, because I didn't have to use a lot of glue. I did not use batting in these. I wanted to keep them thin and lightweight, and they're super light. That chipboard is really lightweight too. And so using thread instead of glue really just kept them super clean, super thin, and really pretty. I'm really pleased with how these turned out. So there's the first 2 that have that dark coral backing. The next 2 have lavender polka dots, and we have a chicken with her chicks and the Easter bunny, and it says Happy Easter. So there's those 2. It's lighter fabric, so it might be easier to see. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, it looks really pretty. The edging looks so pretty that I decided not to add any cord or anything around the edge because I loved the look of it. These next 2 have this yellow floral. We have another chicken with more chicks. It says Peep, and we have a duck in the rain. On this yellow, you can really see the stitching. Do you see how pretty that looks? It just looks really tidy and clean, and I kind of like seeing the stitching, so go figure. Next 2 are an orange polka dot, and here we have bunnies and carrots and a rooster. It says morning. And then we have this light coral swirly stuff. This is actually the same fabric. This is the same fabric that I used for the background of my April piece. That's fun. And this we have Oink, Piggy, and a bunch of bunnies. And then we have green dots. I just really love polka dots, I guess. Or those are just the patterns I had in the right colors. Sheep with little barn. And this, I think it's supposed to be a peacock. It's like a folk art style peacock. Other birds. It's pretty. And then we have a darker purple, like floral. Got a sheep, counting sheep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, jumping over a fence. And another bunny with Easter eggs. That's the ribbon covering up part of his ear. It made it look like there was like a giant fuzzy or something, but it's just the bow. And then last but not least, the last is this light blue gingham. The beehive. This might be my favorite egg out of all of them. I think this one's so pretty. And then some butterflies. So that is my Prairie Schooler egg ornaments. They are so cute. I love how they turned out. I'm really pleased with how this oval ornament finishing worked. The chipboard worked like a dream. I didn't have to cut all of those out. It went relatively quickly to finish all of these. You know, cinching them up around the oval card took maybe 2 to 3 minutes per piece, and then stitching them together was a little bit more slow and painstaking, and it did make my finger ache after a while because you have to pull pretty tight. And anyway, so use a thimble. But honestly, it didn't take long. I think I got these all done in about 2.5 days. So that's pretty good for 16 little ornaments. Now I need an Easter tree. The whole reason I made these is because I wanted an Easter tree. When I was growing up, my mom had a little Easter tree, and I wanted an Easter tree to hang all of my little ornaments on. But I have 16 of them, so I'm gonna need a slightly larger Easter tree, maybe a couple feet tall. If any of you have, if you don't know what an Easter tree is, it's just like a tree that's just branches, just like twigs, so that you can hang ornaments on it. And at Easter time, people hang like little sparkly Easter eggs. And anyway, if any of you know where I could find an Easter tree in the size that I want, please leave it in the comments below, because these need to be displayed. Look at how cute they are. Okay, that was all my fully finishing this in the last 2 weeks. Because I was doing a lot of fully finishing, I don't have any stitching finishes, but I do have 2 whips to show. So let's get into it. The first one, I told you I was gonna start this in my last video, and I did. This is Carrots and Cottontails Farm by Hands On Design, the collaboration between Kathy Haberman and Priscilla Blaine. And I'm stitching this on my 32 count charcoal Belfast linen, my beloved dark gray that I use for all of my chalkboard style things. And I got a lot done. Look at that. I got all of those tulips and carrots done. So basically the entire top part of the border, all the way across. And now obviously I started in on the tree outline, and then I have just this long trailing white thread because I got to that point and decided I was done with it. So I just left the thread hanging, but that is Carrots and Cottontail Farm. It's a pretty good start on it. I will probably be pulling that back out in the next week or 2. If not, if I'm not feeling it, then I'll just put it away and work on it maybe next springtime. I don't know. I tend to stitch with the seasons, not always, but usually I want to stitch the season that we're in. And I also want to finish the season that we're in. That's kind of how my brain works. But I have no problem putting things away for 9 months to a year if I need to. My other whip, this was a new start as well, and I told you guys, I had you guys weigh in last time on what fabric you thought I should stitch this on, and it was extremely helpful. This is the Waxing Moon Designs Easter House Trio. This is the one that I had a failed attempt to start it last year, did not like the colors. I was using the DMC conversion and I did not like how it looked. So I put it away and decided to try stitching it again. And so last time I showed 3 different fabrics. Sorry. Daylight savings is the worst. I'm so sleepy. Anyway, I showed the 3 fabrics I was considering, and a lot of people voted for the purple, a lot of people voted for the vintage Sahara, a few people voted for the cream, and so, but the advice I got the most from the most people was pick your floss first and then see which fabric the floss looks best on, affectionately known as a floss toss. If you don't know what a floss toss is in the cross stitch world, a floss toss is when you take all of your flosses for a pattern and you lay them on different fabrics to figure out which is gonna look the best. So first things first, I did what Nell loves to do almost more than any other part of stitching for some reason, and that is choosing threads and kitting things up. And so, let me pull this. I chose my threads, and guys, I went a totally different direction with this. I went totally different from the DMC alternates, totally different from the cover chart, like the cover picture. using the cover picture as a general basis, but I made a lot of changes to the colors in this, and just wait till you see. Oh, you can't see my pinks. There it is. Ooh, baby. I went full out like sherbety pastel colors. So white, obviously. Then I have, white is just my DMC. I have Classic Colorworks Pink Posy is my light pink. And then Gentle Arts Sampler Threads Poppy is my darker pink. Sorry, that's better. Gotta hold it further back because of this weird lighting. Orange is Classic Colorworks Pumpkin Harvest. It's a nice soft, almost pastel orange. At least my dye lot is. I know that color can vary. My yellow is Sunny Coreopsis, a nice light, like lemony yellow. Lime Essence is my lightest green. Oh, the colors. There you go. We'll just hold it up against my aqua colored shirt. Lime Essence. My darker green is Gentle Arts. Gentle Arts Spring Grass. Classic Colorworks Really Tealy is an aqua that's like an exact match for my shirt. My darker blue is by Color and Cotton. This is Belize. It's a nice bright like turquoisey blue. Then my light blue is DMC 162. I did not have a hand dyed that was the right color of light blue, so I'm just using DMC for that one. Lovely Lavender is my darker purple, which you'll see in a minute. And Spring Blooms is my lighter purple. And then I have two shades of like tan for like Easter baskets. And then a couple of shades of gray for the houses. They're both Gentle Arts. This is Gentle Arts Slate, it's my light gray. And Gentle Arts Soot is my dark gray. And then my last thing here, that's an extra card. My last thing here is Weeks Dye Works Coal is my dark, like black gray. So these are very pastel, very like typical Eastery colors, which I kind of love, at least for Easter patterns. And so once I had picked all of those, then I went to my fabrics, and unfortunately, the one that was the most popular was the purple, but the purples I had chosen clashed horribly with the purple fabric that I had. The purple fabric that I had more gray in it. So if I was doing a more muted, like primmed version of this pattern, that probably would have been perfect. But because I went with such like pure pastel, like sherbety colors, I couldn't use the purple. Then I went to the Vintage Sahara, which was the next most popular one. And again, the colors were wrong. This yellow is more lemony and the Vintage Sahara is more creamy, more of like a buttery yellow. And again, the colors, it wasn't as bad as the purple, but it still wasn't perfect. So then I went to the cream. Boring old cream linen, but the colors just sang on it and looked so good and popped so nicely. And so it was the least popular choice, but it's the one I ended up going with because it's the one that made the colors look the best. And sometimes that's just the way it goes with cross stitch, right? So I do have a partial finish. The first one of my Easter House trio is done. This is the central one, or the one that says Easter on it. I'll show you the pattern first. So there's Easter and then there's two like side ones, and I finished the Easter one. And here it is. So this is my version of the Easter House trio, and I like these colors so much better than the DMC version listed in the pattern. I cannot speak to how the original colors would look because the original colors are mostly Weeks Dye Works with a few Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks thrown in. And you can see they're a little deeper than mine. That border purple is a very, very dark purple. It's Vintage Violet, I believe, by Classic Colorworks. Oh no, Pansy Purple, just kidding. Pansy Purple is by Classic Colorworks, is that dark purple border. You can also see that the blue in the flowers is a little deeper, the grass is a little bit deeper. So these colors are Easter colors but deepened a little bit. I went for the opposite direction. I went light and bright. So I did this lighter purple, around the border, this bright springy green for the grass, this bright Belize by Classic Colorworks, that bright blue, and I love it. I love how it looks. I'm so much happier with it now than I was before. The lighting is really washing it out, so it's almost making the house disappear. You can see the house in real life. This house is white, and it does show up against the cream. It's still like blowing it out. You can see it better in real life than you can see it in the camera, but the colors are so nice. These little leaves, these are lazy daisies and long stitch, which I think is really cute. Yeah, so that's the first one of the 3 that is done, and then I did get started on the second one. And this one is this house on this side, the purple house with the Easter baskets. So I have started that one. The border and the bottom is done. And I'm gonna be filling Easter baskets next. So I went with the cream, which was the least popular color, but with the colors of thread that I chose, it's the one that looked the best. And you know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, but look at how pretty. Usually I'm not like a pastel person, but Easter time is an exception. Easter time is a time for like pastels, as I'm wearing my aqua shirt. I don't wear a lot of pastels, but I do like aqua. So let's just leave that there. But anyway, so pretty. I really love the colors. I really like how this is turning out, and I'm sorry for this horrible lighting, but that's Easter House Trio. And that was my second whip. It was a new start and a sort of mini finish. I got one of the panels done, and yeah, I'm still enjoying that one. I'm probably gonna keep working on that one because I'm really enjoying it. Okay, last but not least is haul. I have a little bit more haul than usual. It just seems like a lot of things came all at the same time. So first, this is funny. I went to the dollar store and I bought myself some readers. I loved these like floral ones with the pink, and then I got one more pair. These are lime green with this like black and white and pink thing, and these are only a 2-time magnification. They are a very low strength magnification, and so I have already tried using them while I was stitching on my 1/1 on my 40 count for I cannot stop yawning, guys. It's daylight savings and it's this weather. I get so like sleepy when it's rainy and gray. Anyway, I have already tried using these for my 40 count Liberty's Welcome, stitching the 1/1, and it's much better. If I have good daylight and these on, it's much easier for me to see what I'm doing. So dollar store readers, they're only a 2-time magnification, but they really do help, and I feel like such an old lady. Like, I don't mean that disrespectfully. Like a cute old lady, like with her little readers on. Ooh, I can't see without my readers. I don't know. It's just cute. I really like them. And they're fun colors. And they were cheap. Thank you, dollar store. Next thing, I got my package from Nancy, bless her. We're not gonna get back into that whole discussion, but I had not gotten a few of my colors yet, a few of my thread club deliveries. So I've got them about a week and a half ago. She got all caught up with me, and so much thanks to Nancy and Tom and Victorian Motto and for getting those to me. I did pay for them myself, but you know, I don't mind waiting, as I said in my last video. So these were the Christmas colors. Beautiful, rich, deep, like greens, reds, and a blue in there too. So those are my that was from December. I'm not sure which of these was spring and which of these was, which of these was January and which of these was February, but I'll just show them both to you. This is one of them. We've got a nice off-white. It's like a gray toned white. It's really pretty. And then like a turquoise and some dark reds, a pink. That was one of them. And then the other month, this might have been February, we've got like a green and an aqua and a turquoise, this burgundy, like an orangey red. So really pretty. We got my 3 months of Victorian Motto threads from Nancy. So thank you, Nancy. And then you guys know I love Simple Stitches Fabric Shop, and I love their pillowcase kits, and for their store anniversary, they had a sale on their pillowcase kits. Their pillowcase kits are usually $13, but for the sale, they were $10. So I went ahead and stocked up, and I have stuff to make Easter pillowcases for my boys. So that is going to be a project for this week. As always, whenever you buy a pillowcase kit from Simple Stitches Fabric Shop, they send you the instructions on how to do it. It's very easy. Even beginners can do it. They also always send a little like freebie, little fat 16th of fabric. This is like a piratey one, which you're gonna see why they gave me this one in a minute. But let's look at the pillowcase kits I bought. Oh, don't fly everywhere, please. Okay, first, the Easter ones. I don't know which son is getting which Easter pillowcase, but I just, you know, we'll see. So the first one are these Easter chicks and this blue gingham with a yellow border. So one of them will get that one. The next one are these Easter bunnies. So cute with this like plaid and another yellow border. And I went for like blues and yellows because I have boys, but she has lots of options for pinks and purples if that's your kids' thing. And then this last one is a darker one. This is a darker blue with bunnies and like a blue stripe and a white dot accent. So those are the Easter pillowcase kits. Whoop! That I got for my boys. I will probably be working on these this week because Easter's coming up and they're still using their Christmas pillowcases. They really like having these fun pillowcases, and so like when I wash their pillowcases, they want the Christmas ones back on their pillows. So we need to make them some new ones. Then, because it was the sale, I thought it would be really fun to get my boys some pillowcases that are not tied to a specific holiday, so that if we want to put Christmas away and it's March and we need different pillowcases, we have other fun ones. The first one is that same fabric that I showed you that they gave me as a freebie, but instead of the white background, it's the blue background. We have pirates. My boys love pirates. My boys have loved pirates since they were tiny, tiny little things, and Muppet Treasure Island is one of their favorite movies. Anything with pirates. We finally let my oldest two boys watch the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which I was nervous about because it's a little scary and I thought it might be too intense for them, but they actually enjoyed it and just thought it was the coolest movie ever. They love pirates. So we have some little pirates with this red stripy rope edging and then this dark navy blue border. So that'll be for one of my boys. Probably, this is probably for my second son, Henry. That will probably be his. For my oldest son, we also went with a pirate theme. We've got pirate ships with a red stripe and this dark navy blue like diamond pattern for the accent. So he will probably, my oldest, Charlie, will probably get the pirate ship one. And then my youngest, so my older two boys are the ones really into pirates. My youngest is like truly deeply invested, like on a deep emotional level in dinosaurs. He's at that age. So I got him this one, these cute dinosaurs on the black with an orange edging and this blue stripe accent. So got them some fun, like everyday, not tied to a holiday pillowcases that they can use when I don't have a holiday one. But I think first will be obviously the Easter ones. I will do the Easter ones first so we can get those on their pillows before Easter comes. So that was from Simple Stitches Fabric Shop. That $10 pillowcase kit sale was a good sale. Saved a bunch of money and got some more fun pillowcases to make for my boys. I really like making those. They're super easy. I can whip out all three of them in about 2.5 hours. I mean, it's really fast. And they just really like them. It's really fun for them to have fun pillowcases. Oh, that's my packing slip. Last piece of haul, this is a Goodwill find. I found this at our local Goodwill, and I'm not exactly sure yet how I'm going to use it, but I found this. It's a flan pan. Go figure. This is for making flan. It says basic flan recipe on it. 3/4 cup sugar, 1/4 cup of butter, 3 egg yolks, 1 1/4 cup sifted cake flour, baking powder, salt, milk, a little bit of lemon extract. Beat butter, sugar, and yolks until fluffy. Sift dry ingredients, add alternately with flavoring and milk. Blend well. Pour into greased and floured Nordic flan pan. Bake at 350 for about 25 minutes. So it has the instructions for making flan. I'm not sure why the pan looks exactly like this. It obviously has been used because I can see cut marks from where someone was slicing up the flan. But I got it because I thought it would make a great finishing object, right? Don't we do that? I haven't yet decided if I would use the inside, this like creamy white, and I mean, I could always paint it. I kind of like the rough and antique look on this a little bit. I could always paint it with chalk paint, and I could put something on the inside or put something into this little dip in the center. And I haven't yet decided which way I like it better. It was only $2 at our Goodwill, and like, it's so cute. It's round, it's like an interesting edging. I just thought it was pretty. It's a nice big size. I don't know what I'm ever going to use it for, but I'm going to use it for something. And, you know, finishing materials. I might try making flan in it before I use it for finishing, though. You know, just for fun. Before I turn it into finishing objects. But it does need to be washed and scrubbed down a little bit, but I don't mind. So I got that at Goodwill. And that is it for my haul. That is everything. Did a lot of finishing, did a lot of stitching. I have got Easter on the brain big time. How's everybody doing with Lent? I'm doing well. I'm doing really good. I definitely miss sweets. I miss baked goods, especially. Baked goods are my love language. Baked goods and perfume are my love languages. Oh, I love perfume. Are any of you guys big perfume lovers out there? Anyway, I do miss baked goods, brownies, oh, cupcakes, cookies. I love me some baked goods, but I'm doing well. I still haven't caved, and I'm gonna hang in there. It's only like 3 more weeks until Easter, so no problem, right? No problem. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're enjoying your stitching. I hope you're having a great day. I hope there's better weather wherever you are. And yeah, take care. I love you guys, and I'll catch you next time. See ya. Bye.